Okay, in the diagram, segment AB and segment CD are chords that intersect inside of the circle at point P, which is not the center. What is the value of x? The value of x is blank, and your answer is a number that correctly fills in the blank in the previous sentence like this, 42. Okay, so I first have to decide which of these theorems that was covered in the lesson is it, and it's inside the circle, it's intersecting chords. So I had typed that out into my own words, so I will interpret that for you. So the product of segment lengths of one chord equals the product of segment lengths of the other chord. So first I've got to identify the segment lengths of one chord. So C to D is one chord, so the segment lengths would be X, because it ends right, it's intercepting right here at P. So that's one segment, and from P to D is the other segment. So the product means multiplying. So we would have X times 8, since those are the lengths of each of those segments. And then the segment lengths of the other chord, so from A to B is the other chord. And the segments would be A to P and P to B. So that would be 10 times 12. So now we could multiply this out. So 8 times x is typically written as 8x. That equals 10 times 12 is 120. Our goal here is to solve for x, so our whole goal is to end up with like a 1x. That's going to equal some number. So if you're not feeling strong in algebra skills, there is an algebra calculator, and we could type in 8x equals 120. Now the only benefit this one gives is it gives the steps listed out so that we can seek to understand what is going on. So on this it says divide both sides by 8. The purpose in dividing by 8 is so that we can reduce this down to a 1, because 1 times x is just a 1x, and that 1 is often just implied in writing. And so that is the purpose of dividing both sides by 8, is to reduce it down to a 1. So then 120 divided by 8 is 15. So then we know that x equals 15. So the value of x is 15.